Hey, Genki Call here. We are in Merlantis this week. No campaign tasks because we are in campaign cooldown, which is great because no campaign tasks, but bad because we lose our bonus stats from the last campaign and we also lose the random gargoyle gems. On the plus side, no random gems again until next week. We don't know what they're going to be. I hope they'll be nice, but we'll find out in a week. But we are in Merlantis, and there is not just the new glory troop, there's also a new legendary, which you can see right here. Ah, Triton. Yes, so this is only with event keys, so I'm going to be using my event keys. I really would love to also pull Aquaticus because I don't have her yet, but I'm just going to do 50 keys at a time until I get Triton, and if I get Aquaticus, then I'll be really happy. But we'll see. Okay. Click. There's the anglerfin. Okay, nothing exciting. I can get that with glory. Did get a couple of legendaries, which is always nice. It's Triton! I'm so tempted to keep going. Next week we're going where?
Stormheim.
Stormheim. I have the Stormheim stuff. Maybe just a couple more. Just a couple. Just wasting my keys. Just wasting them. Oh well, I got another Triton, so I'm gonna stop there. Only have 100 left. I gotta build some up for next time. I need them. Next week, Stormheim. That means, sorry. That means that next week you will be able to get Mistralis, if you're lucky, with your event keys. So weigh your options. Weigh your options. I'm gonna go over everything you can get with your event keys right now, but keep in mind that if you want Mistralis, you might want to save them, but anyway, let's go over the troops for Merlantis. They are right here. Let me sort by, nope, rarity, base rarity, and also show all because I'm missing Aquaticus. I would really like to have her, but it's just going to have to wait till I can craft her, you know, when I have 4,000 diamonds again. She does light splash damage to 3 random enemies. It explodes half of the blue boards on the gem, which is great if you've got a lot of blue gems, but yeah, I'd love it more if she exploded a set number of gems or all of the blue gems. I mean, come on, Azera blows up all of them. She'd be more mythic-like if she did. But anyway, I digress. I just want all the mythics. 1 life for each blue ally, spell reduction. Submerge all allies when matching 4+ gems. This can be super helpful if you're fighting a team that does entirely AoE. So if you're fighting like Queen Beatrix or Luna or anything that does damage to all enemies, they can't hit you if you're submerged. So anyway, that is her call to fame right there. Pycea. Oh, Pycea is here. I love Pycea. I'm going to put my favorite Pycea team thumbnail at the end of this video. You'll be able to find it there. You just have to go all the way to the last 15 seconds of the video. You'll see the thumbnail. I love Pycea. He destroys all green gems, making him great to run with Beatrix. Create the number of blue gems equal to the number of green gems destroyed, so you loop. And there are 2 independent 30% chances to devour a random enemy. You can get double devours, and you can get a double devour twice in one battle. I've had it happen multiple times. Skull damage reduction by 30%, so he's fine to run at the front of the team. You devour, you get extra attack, and you just blow them away with skulls. I mean, it's great. And you know, submerge myself when I take damage. What's not to love? I love this troop. He's so fun. I have a great E12 team. Again, that will be at the end of the video. Undine, I haven't really used him. I haven't had him for long. I got lucky and pulled him with event keys last time we were here, I think. Do damage to an enemy and the next enemy below. That doesn't mean splash damage. If they are separated with 2 troops between them, it doesn't matter. It's whatever's directly below them. Boosted by merfolk and submerged allies with the ×8 boost ratio. So if you're all merfolk and you're all submerged, it's going to be quite a boost. And then submerge blue allies and silence blue enemies. You know, I've got this guy and I never thought to use him for Guild Wars Blue Attack Day. That would be really useful against the blue tome. Huh. He's immune to mana burn, drain, steal, all that stuff, and he submerges himself at the start of every turn. Then we've got the legendaries, we've got Charybdis, and so damage to the first and last enemy, that's great, two damage sources, and there are independent 10% chances to devour either or both of the enemies, boosted by 3% for each submerged ally and enemy. He's not the greatest devourer legendary for sure. And I don't even know if he's as good as, say, Gorbel, but except that he does damage to 2 enemies. But he does gain 10 life when matching 4+ gems. He does have some skull damage reduction, and he submerges himself, which is good for the reasons I already went over. Leviathan, hate fighting Leviathan in Delves because it knocks the first enemy to the last position, and that messes up my team. It dispels all enemies. That means any positive status effects that they have removes all of them. Just gone. Even Bless. All of them will just be gone. And does damage to them boosted by blue gems with the 3-to-1 ratio. So the boost ratio isn't great, but the dispel is fantastic if you're fighting something with, say, tons of gargoyle gems that add all of the positive status effects. You can get rid of all of them with one cast of this guy. Submerge myself on 4+ gem matches, immune to devour, immune to stun. Then we've got Nemu. I always called her Nimue, but it's Nimue. But it's apparently Nemu. She transforms yellow gems to skulls and red gems to purple. She's a double converter with skulls. I love this kind of troop. I rarely use her, and I think the reason that she has never become meta is because the delving rooms that we see her in, she never gets a chance to cast because she's 100% mana blocked. And so no one can see how much damage she can do with these skulls. You have her on the right team and she, she could be like Divine well, maybe not Divine Ishvala because there's that 40% mana start for Divine Allies, but still. And she also silences the strongest enemies. So she's actually a really good troop, and I think she's underused. Steal 4 life from the first enemy when matching green gems. That's always nice. And these other things. Things you cannot get from the... Sorry, my mind. I'm tired. You cannot get from your event keys are the troops from Sea of Sorrow. So that would be the Deep King. You get those with your Chaos Shards in Sea of Sorrow. The Deep King and Sea Witch. Hammer Claw. And what's the last one? Mershark. So those 4 you will not be able to get with your event keys. Everything else you see here you will be able to get. Now Triton is the new troop we just got, and he does heavy splash damage to an enemy. That means he'll hit the troop that you target with full damage, and the adjacent troops will get hit with 75% of that damage. That's pretty nice. I like that. Boosted by blue gems with a 1-to-1 ratio, so if there are 10 blue gems, that'll be an extra 10 splash damage, and gives all merfolk 4 magic. That means every time he casts, this purple number for every one of your troops that's used that is a merfolk is going to go up. Super nice. Oh, all merfolk allies start with 50% mana! And summons an ice storm at the start of battle. Oh, I love this troop. Oh, look at this. Okay, I'm really excited about this. I didn't look at what he did before I started pulling stuff, so I'm super excited. I may even use an orb on him, but let's get him leveled up here and see how much that changes. Of course, when you put him on a team, it's also going to change. I have plenty of Celestials, but I keep hoarding them. As I have plenty of Orbs of Wisdom, might as well use them. Alright. Now that's up to 47, and I put him on a team, it'll be even better. Alright, Azera is a very good mana generator, and I like using her in Delves especially. She dispels all enemies. I already went over what that does. Eliminates points of a random skill. It could be magic, it could be attack, armor, health, any of those. Boosted by blue gems, and explodes all blue gems, not half of them. All blue gems. Also gains 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, immune to burning and fairy fire, which is very nice. And yeah, she's actually quite a good mana generator, and I like her a lot. She feeds back into, well, anything that explodes feeds back into herself, but she's targeting blue, so she's definitely going to get some mana out of it as long as there's blue on the board. And you also, you do get this from event keys, but you also get her from finishing the storyline here. So if you've done Merlantis, you already have her. Cyrene, drain mana from an enemy and eliminate magic. That can be helpful. Then stun and entangle them. She is immune to the mana, burn, drain, steal. Submerges herself when she takes damage. The Mantis Shrimp does true damage to an enemy, knocks him to the last position, submerges himself, and starts mana with 50%, battles with 50% mana, even if Triton isn't along. Double skull damage versus submerged enemies, and double skull damage versus stunned enemies. I wonder if that stacks. I mean, that couldn't stack. Could it? Could that stack? If they're submerged and stunned, would that stack? Very interesting. Anyway, Narita, whatever. Damage to an enemy boosted by submerged allies. This is a siege breaker, so if they're a tower, do 3 to 5 times the damage. And also with the skulls, if you have him at the front of your team, he has spell damage reduction, but not skull damage reduction. So personally, I wouldn't put him at the front, but he has a siege breaker. I'm sorry, she, definitely a she, she, is something you're definitely going to want to have, for when we do the tower event invasion for Merlantis. Of course, you can get it from the shop at that time. But anyway, can't get Tuskor. This one is our Godslayer, another one you're definitely going to want. Now, the Siege Breaker can be used against Leona's Tower. This can be used against any troop with a red border. That's the dungeon. That's Zul'Goth. That's Raid Boss Zul'Goth. That's Enraged Korindara. And Hatir Ascended and Scroll Reborn. All of them that have a red border will do this bonus damage, so that's super nice. Skull damage reduction as well. Nice! We love that. Wave Rider, give an ally some armor and barrier and submerge them. He does summon an ice storm when an enemy dies, which is kind of nice. But mostly he's useful for arena. The Were Shark inflicts bleed. Oh no, it's one of the wares. I don't even want to look at this because it creates lycanthropy gems. I will never ever use this thing because I hate lycanthropy. Yeah. He does have a 5% chance to devour for each lycanthropy gem when he casts, but don't like this troop. The new Glory troop, I'll go over it now, and then we're also going to grab it from the Glory shop because I must have it at mythic level. But destroys all yellow gems. Now, that means it's actually taking that mana as if it was matched. It does not feed back into itself, but if you're using something on the team that uses yellow, it's going to feed that particular troop or those troops. And there's a 10% chance to devour an enemy boosted by yellow gems destroyed. So if there are 10 yellow gems, you'll have a 20% chance to devour. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Not terrible. Summon an ice storm when an enemy dies. Once again, that is very useful. And reduce damage from skulls by 30%. I have to cough. They're putting this guy at the front of a team that uses lots of yellow. I can't think of what that might be. If he destroyed blue or red, that would be really awesome, but he doesn't, so. The Axolotl. I remember this Glory troop. He came out not too long after I started the game. Create a mixture of 18 blue and green gems and submerge himself. He can loop really nicely. The whole team gets bonus blue mana from blue gem matches. So you match 3 gems. Let's say you don't get a mana surge. You match 3, you actually get 4. When you match 5, you will probably get a mana surge, but you'll get an extra mana out of it as well. Coral Golem. Oh, the Coral Golem. I hate fighting this guy in Delves when I'm doing pure faction because he explodes a gem, submerges a random ally for every green gem destroyed, but most importantly, gains life and armor every time he casts. Yeah. Rah. And 50% skull damage reduction. So they stick him at the front of the team, and he is such a pain in delves to fight. Ugh. As far as using him myself, I never use him, but he is a pain to fight. Hammerclaw can't get. Lamprey. This is another devourer. Damage to an enemy with a 30% chance to devour them if they use blue mana. Could be useful on Blue Guild Wars Day if you're fighting a tome team, because tome teams generally use lots of blue. It is immune to devour itself, which is cool, and it's stealthy. And double skull damage versus merfolk, but I wouldn't put him at the front of the team. No skull damage reduction. Mer Knight. Explode a gem, gain life, boosted by blue gems, submerge, and barrier myself. Pain in the rump when fighting him in arena. Just generally don't use him myself because there are better troops out there. But again, with the water link, super useful for the team. Merlion is actually useful because he does damage to an enemy and a random enemy. If they're silenced, he'll do double damage. And then he also silences. So he's going to silence 2 enemies, period. And if they're already silenced, he's going to do double damage. So he's actually quite useful. Just generally don't use him. He's got these impervious immunities, which is also very nice. Oh, no. Crystartle is one of our bounty troops. I do use him occasionally, which is why I have it gold medaled, but it's kind of fallen off what I generally use because I love using Ogress so much. But convert a chosen color to brown so that it can, you cast whenever you're going to have a match for. Plus, barrier and submerge a random ally. If you could choose, that would be way cool. And skull damage reduction by 50%. Before Ogress existed, I used this quite a lot, but not so much anymore. Hippocampus, destroy a rogue, give some life to a random ally boosted by yellow gems destroyed, and double the effect if they use blue mana. It can be useful if you are limited to the troops that you can use. If you can only use Merlantis troops, maybe. But it does start with 50% mana. And then Kuotani does splash damage, just regular, so full damage to whatever it hits. The adjacent troops get 50% of that damage. And then he submerges himself. La la la. Mermaid. Oh. Damage to an enemy and explode 2 blue gems. She's okay. She's not terrible. That just exploding 2 gems can actually really be helpful for the team, but not as helpful as something else. But she is a bounty hunter that I've never used. And double skull damage versus rogues. She's okay. She's okay. Mershark, nope. Maravax, damage to an enemy, create 6 blue gems, boosted by submerged allies, and then bleed when doing skull damage. But you do double skull damage versus submerged enemies. If you're going to be fighting something that's submerged, I'd much rather use Captain Macaw that's going to insta-kill them. But, if you don't have that option, there are other things available. And the giant crab, it's okay. Damage to the first and last enemy. And then switches their places. So, yeah, that's it. That's what we've got for what you can get in your event keys this week. Remember, Mystralis is going to be available next week. But Triton is pretty darned cool, so keep that in mind as well. Alright, moving on. Let's go ahead and head into the shop first. Grab my resources here, get your spoils of war. The max is 10. Fantastic deal. Miss Georgia, my eldest here, sitting next to me. She, my elder child, I should say, she has gotten a mythic off of these 10 keys. This kid has the luck. I'm telling ya. Anyway, just uses 10 keys and gets a mythic. This is just the kind of luck she has, but it is possible, and 10 keys for that amount of glory is a fantastic deal. Now, the Angler Fin, we already went over what it does. I don't think it's so bad if you can figure out a team to put it on that uses lots of yellow. But anyway, we as in I, must have this up to mythic quality. And it's less because I don't have to buy a ton because I use my event keys first. So I already had some copies of it. So now I have another mythic, another level 20, it will be level 20, troop for Merlantis for my power levels, which I need right now to get my power level up. Oh, so exciting! Another power level for Merlantis, and plus you get all of these as well. This is super, super helpful for anybody that's lower level and needs those trait stones. This is a fantastic way to get them. Even if you don't care about the troop, if you need the trait stones, you should be buying some of these if you've got the glory to do it. But there we go. We're going to do that. And just to take you along for the ride, yes, I know. Just to take you along for the ride, I'm going to get my power level up. Gonna get my power level up. I'm so happy. And I'm going to trade him while I'm at it. We'll do that. And the trait stones you need to do the glory troop every week are the trait stones that they give. So level 20, yay! So excited, another power level. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be able to do that today. Yay! Okay, because I must have all weapons in the Soul Forge, but that's for the Soul Forge video. We'll do that later. But for that, I just got ×4 tribute chance. Excellent. Nice. Okay. Backing on out of here. Let's go over what you get this week. 10% bonus for merfolk, 10% bonus for beasts. So if it's a merfolk beast, it gets a 20% boost this week. And if you take the angler fin into PvP, you get a bonus trait stone, which can be really helpful if you are low on trait stones. I won't be doing it because I obviously don't need them at this point in my gems career, but I remember the grind. The grind. All right, next up on the agenda. Let's head in here. And tomorrow we've got the Sea of Sorrow faction assault. That is the troops I was just going over. The Deep King is awesome. And the faction weapon is very nice as well. I'll go over that in the Soul Forge video, provided that I can remember. Hopefully. Anyway, we've got this brand new cosmetic pet, St. Bernie, I think, something like that, coming out for Wednesday for our pet rescue. Then on Thursday, we've got the Tide Collar class trial. I just maxed this. It's a good one, and I love it with my gold farming team. Then on Friday, we have a weekend faction assault, and it is for Hall of Guardians. So got some delving to do this week. It's going to be fun. You know, if you like delving. I like delving. I think it's fun. But that is what we've got for this week. Also, we might be having the new, I'm banking on getting our August patch tomorrow. What that patch entails, I don't know. But we will hopefully find out tomorrow about 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's about the time that Tacit starts streaming, if for those of you that follow Tacit. So anyway, that's it for this video. I have talked long enough. I still have 2 more videos to do, so keep an eye out for those. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!